Asian Paints 2 wasn't quite exciting. To discuss all of that and to understand where the entire sector plus the discretionary spend is headed, let's welcome on board Abneesh Roy, the Executive Director, Institutional Equities at Nuvama Group. Abneesh, hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for making time and speaking with us. First up, your read through of the earnings so far. United Spirits, Colgate, Pidilite, specifically weaker side.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, this quarter, if you see, a lot of these kind of companies have seen a challenging volume growth also. So, for example, companies like Pidilite, Asian Paints suffered in October month because there was very high rainfall in a festival period. What we have gathered is definitely in the months of November and December, there is a revival, and we expect in Q4 the volume growth for Pidilite and Asian Paints should be better than the Q3 numbers. Also, these companies will see expansion in the gross and EBITDA margin further because the full benefit of the falling raw material and rupee also has now strengthening a bit. So, imported raw material, you will see that benefit in Q4 and FY24 for these kind of companies. For Colgate and United Spirits, the numbers were quite challenging. So, clearly, in their case, the competitive intensity and the raw material pressure and slightly the rural demand also challenging for Colgate. I think that remains a concern. In Colgate, we continue to see and track the actions by the new MD Prabha. But I think it will take time for her steps and efforts because FMCG clearly very competitive and definitely Dabur and Unilever are also quite aggressive in the oral care also. So yes, overall challenging. Our topics will be Hindustan Unilever, Britannia, Godrej Consumer, and Asian Paints at this level. I think most of the correction is already done. So from here on, I think most of the earning growth recovery and volume growth recovery will be seen in Q4 and FY24.
Right, Avnish, this is Vinny joining in as well. And I want to talk about one thing is, that even when you are in terms of expectations that you see from Marico, GCPL or Dabur, volume growths are not much. You're saying that, we'll expect to see the recovery coming in Q4. But what about the rural growth? Because nothing that has very positively come in terms of that growth that we're seeing over there. So won't that be a bigger concern then?
Absolutely. When I referred to the volume growth recovery, I was referring to Asian Paints and Pidilite because they had suffered in the October month because of rainfall. In terms of the staples companies, clearly rural slowdown continues. We had released a report, in fact, 1 month back itself, that in Q3 and Q4, as of now, no big structural recovery in rural is happening. Yes, in Q3, the rural slowdown is not as big as seen in the first half of the year. That's entirely because of the base effect. Unilever did highlight that there are some green shoots emerging in terms of the rural, but my sense is the deflation has to be seen in fertilizer and the diesel prices. And of course, the monsoon has been challenging in UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Bengal. So, next monsoon, if it is good and we have a good crop yield, I think then only the rural recovery should happen in FY24. So, you're absolutely right. FMCG, rural demand remains challenging, and urban is what is growing faster.
Talk about something positive then, because there is still weakness when it comes to rural recovery, but urban consumption is firing, and that's quite visible by the kind of advance bookings that we have seen for Pathan, Abneesh. Very critical because Q4 is otherwise a seasonally weak quarter and stock of PVR hasn't been doing much. Do you expect Pathan to cause a bit of revival in the stock interest?
Yeah, I think so because it will give confidence and comfort to the investors also. So yes, Hindi movies in particular past few quarters has been extremely challenging. There was a course correction needed because content definitely was not appealing to the viewers. In the same time frame, we have seen the South Indian content and some of the other regional content, and even movies like Avatar do exceedingly well. So it is not that the viewer doesn't want to go to the movie screens. We expect OTTs and movie screens both to coexist and both should do well. Why Pathan is doing well is, of course, Shah Rukh Khan movie is coming after 4 years. Second, in terms of the negative publicity on some of the song and other things, I think that has also created a lot of the social buzz and media buzz. Also, that has also helped. See, ultimately, it's all about content. So, if content is good, after the initial first 3 days, which is looking very good, I think then it will boil down to content. But yes, you're absolutely right. The bookings have been extremely strong. It is breaking many of the records for a Hindi movie in terms of the first day booking, first day collection. It's been extremely strong. We expect almost 45-50 crore kind of collection on the first day. And the first 5 days, the benefit is there are 3 holidays in the 5 days. So that again helps. So we expect almost 150 to 200 crore India collections in the first 5 days, given the pent up demand for Shah Rukh Khan movie and good buzz and very strong booking. So yes, urban demand currently, if the content is good, we are seeing multiplexes do really well. But Hindi movies, clearly course correction is needed in terms of the cost structure and in terms of the differentiated content which has been missing.
For joining in with us this afternoon on Markets at Noon. That was all the views coming in on FMCG as well as Pathan. Surely expecting a bumper day coming in and a bumper beginning coming in for Pathan. But on that note, let's just slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more updates after this break.